Yo, man. Hey, hello, and how are you doing? It is it's daylight savings time, and you know, it's cool to know that. It might have extended your night or ruined your morning. We don't know yet, but hope that you're here because a lot of great wrestling news, information, and content is available, I guess, depending on how you look at it and how much you're looking at the world of wrestling. And hey, look, we're here to talk about it, man. So it is time for the first Black Champ podcast. And I am the pick, your podcast, Intercontinental Champion, Camp from the Port.
And I was on mute, but hey, yo, it is JR Bang. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download wherever you get your favorite podcast. Barbershop Network is the home. The FBC POD is where you can follow us on everywhere. And look, man. Hey, Keith, man, you just coming in hot. Fam, you coming in hot, fam. But make sure you follow us on everything. Make sure you get that merch too. Winter is almost here. Go ahead and prepare for it by getting the hoodie and stuff. And man, we got a good show prepared for you today. I want to start off with the wrestling releases that's happened.
Yeah.
This week, Indy Hartwell was released along with Tegan Knox and Baron Corbin. So Tegan Knox, look, shouts out to Tegan Knox. If y'all listen to the show before, y'all know that I like that little lesbian. This is the way I said that shit. I like that little lesbian. And Indy Hartwell, I like that little lesbian too. You know what I'm saying?
They both on the other side.
Oh, Indy Hartwell got a bad wife too, fam.
Oh, wait. So that's her. I thought that was just like her home girl.
No.
Dang.
That's the wife.
Hey, y'all up.
Man. Right. But the one not necessarily shocking is Baron Corbin. We've been a fan of Baron Corbin on this pod. I think you famously, wasn't it you who put, was it Baron Corbin and my man? Yeah, you had like Baron Corbin and what's my man name? Enzo and Big Cass. You had them being like a WrestleMania main event.
Absolutely. Hey, look, when we started this podcast, it was 2017, summer 2017. And by the trajectory of that moment in time, because I think where we're at, like WrestleMania, like 33 or 4.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, what are my first guarantees? I think my first guarantee on this show was I guaranteed that Baron Corbin and Big Cass would headline WrestleMania 40 for the WWE Championship. that was my guarantee. And hey, you know what? I regret nothing.
Yeah.
I was wrong as hell. But hey, look, there was just some things I didn't expect to happen. All right. Like, didn't expect for Big Cass to become a raging alcoholic and get injured and then threaten Carmella to the point where they got rid of him. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, well, maybe half of my prediction would be right or guarantee would be right because, hey, Baron Corbin caught fire. And at one point was the number one heel in the company. There was nobody with more heat than Baron Corbin after I made that proclamation. But then,
So y'all know, if y'all listen to the show, we never really do the whole drop the ball thing. But I gotta ask this question here.
Yeah, let's go.
Did the WWE drop the ball on Baron Corbin?
Hey, man, you know what? Not for nothing. I think so. And that's not me saying it to protect my prediction or even just put a world title on him. But again, there was a time where 2 different times for 2 different reasons, Baron Corbin was the number one heel in the company. He had the most heat. He was Dominic Mysterio. He was literally Dom. He was Dirty Dom in 2017 and 18. as the Constable, and then whatever other name they gave him. But he got himself over twice. And usually, especially for a heel that had his resume, you would think, well, at least he gonna lose for the world title at SummerSlam. But no, they literally like they took his Money in the Bank away. Once he won Money in the Bank, I was like, oh, hey, look, I'm about to be right. It just ain't gonna be big cash. But then he lose that. I'm like, damn. So not too many times in hindsight does the WWE drop the ball, but I honestly do think, just for especially what wrestling started becoming, I think they dropped the ball on Baron Corbin. At least give him that 1 year where he got that one world title feud, whether he won or lost.
Yeah. Indy Hartwell always struck me as somebody that belonged in like TNA. Tegan Knox as well. Mm-hmm. Especially when she got hurt the second time.
Yeah.
But Baron Corbin should have been a world champion. I can't believe I'm saying that, because I get mad at some in the internet wrestling community. Like, it should have been world champion. But no, I truly believe that Baron Corbin should have been at least a one-time world heavyweight champion.
And to your point on that, I'm also thinking this when Jinder Mahal is the damn champion on SmackDown. So for me, and as you see, Bang has his hands up in agreement, if we're going to put the title on Jinder Mahal, how can we not put the title on Baron Corbin? Baron Corbin been way over in NXT and in the WWE main roster, way more than Jinder Mahal was ever.
And I would count myself as a day one Baron Corbin fan. Like, going back to his NXT days, the Lone Wolf days, when he got called up, I was geeked. When he won Money in the Bank, I was geeked. When he won the U.S. title, I was geeked. When he had the feud with Roman Reigns and the dog food thing, I was like, okay, it's lit. But it just seems like every time something was about to happen for him, something else happened. So, yes, internet wrestling community, I don't normally say this, but if y'all were to say that the WWE dropped the ball on Baron Corbin, I would tend to say, yeah, y'all right.
Yeah.
Y'all dropped the ball on Baron Corbin.
No, for sure. Because, I mean, hey, look, even just through the 2010s, we could name, I'd say probably like 5 to maybe even 10 world or WWE champions that, even at their peak of holding that belt, they wouldn't have it in Baron Corbin. Yeah. I think we could safely say that. I think that's easy. I think that's an easy one. So it's unfortunate, but and then like this last run with him and Apollo Crews, I was like, man, this is disappointing. I thought the JBL stuff was disappointing, but the Apollo Crews was really like disappointing.
Yeah, that we move on.
Yeah, for sure.
Chris Bay, who reposted a photo of a video of Trey, like, being excited to see him wrestling. So shouts out to him. He was seriously injured in a TNA. I think it was a TNA taping. Apparently it was a spot with Matt Hardy. Had a serious neck injury that required major surgery. Last night's fourth rope event, and anyway you see TNA, they've been blasting, his quote in a video celebrating him. Excuse me. They have a GoFundMe set up for him. Chris Bay sent out a statement just saying, I want to take a few moments to extend my heartfelt thanks and deepest appreciation for so much, and to say to so many over the past few days, from everyone at TNA Wrestling to the incredible medical staff in Detroit, where the injury happened, to family, friends, and fans worldwide. I know you have been praying for my full recovery, for the in-ring accident on that Sunday. Monday was day one for me on this journey, which I know will be long and challenging. Thanks again for the love and support, and please keep the prayers coming. For those who might not know, Chris Bay is a 3-time tag team champion, former X Division champion, member of the Bullet Club with Ace Austin, ABC, who made an appearance at Fourth Rope to talk about Chris Bay and his recovery right now. So, man, prayers up for his speedy recovery and everything. right there. It just shows you how dangerous that this sport can be.
Yeah, man.
And speaking of this sport, going into Westside Gunn and Smoke DZA presents Fourth Rope Wrestling.
Right.
First event happened in Chicago at the UIC Forum. Packed house capacity crowd, I believe it was. First of all, this is the longest merch line I've ever seen. I walked in last night and I was like, "This is the merch aisle, nigga." Or this is the aisle to get into to your seats. And then I just followed the crowd and I was like, "Oh, this is the merch joint." I'm not gonna be able to get no merch from the second. Like, I legit wanted to get a hoodie, and it wasn't gonna work out with that line.
So, man, so now, because I think this is very important, because I do think the new king of merch over the last 5 years has been Westside Gunn. Now, I've been out the loop, had to work in the morning, cousin came in town, right back outside. Missed anything that might have been merch on there. What was the most memorable piece of merch, or what was just what was everybody, what was the consensus of, like, oh, yo, no, this the one that was through the arena?
Oh, the consensus one is the Hills Have Eyes cover photo that have several heels with their eyes. Like, simply put, like, just their eyes. Like, Chris Jericho is the one that I can remember right off the top while I bring it back. Hold on, let me get to it. Hold on, let me see if I can pull a joint up. So I could,
because my personal favorite piece of Westside Gunn merch, period, is him and Conway on the bike with the sawed off shotgun. I think it's like he got a sawed off, or he got like he either got an AR-15. I forget. I still want that on the orange, and I tried to get it off of eBay, but somebody's trying to fleece me. I keep.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna share my screen real quick. This right here with Chris Jericho, Scott Steiner, looks like Charlotte Flair. That looks like Dennis Rodman right there. But no, this was right here on the red hoodie.
Nice.
Yeah. And when I saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna cop me one. But I saw that line, and I was like, yo, I'm straight. I ain't gonna be able to get this one. I'm just gonna go in. Now, I thought I was gonna be late, right? And you know me, I like to be like squarely on time for shit. For sure. Because you never know what might happen. I might get there and my name ain't on the list. Actually, my name was second on the list. Real nigga. But when I got there and I saw everybody with the hoodie, wanted to get it, couldn't get it, go up in the seating. But I'm like, yo, I'm thinking some of the matches that happened already. I was like, oh man, I'm actually early, I guess. Okay. But it was so many people at the merch table. They had that like at 7:55, hit niggas with the 5-minute warning, like, get in your seats. We're about to start the show.
Wow.
So I don't know if everything was just like doors open at 6, matches start at 8. But the fact that everybody was at the merch table was lit. And like Moore's Beer was there. Shouts out to them. And it was a couple other folks that was there. But that merch table, especially grabbing that hoodie, I wish I had more patience.
Yeah.
But I'll order it online if it's available online. But Hills Have Eyes 3. Take you to some of the joints, right? And I did not see the Ric Flair and the Swerve Strickland joint. I would have copped the Ric Flair bloody face.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have copped that one too. But AJ Francis, Joe Hendry, Jocelyn Navarro, and Masha Slamovich versus Jordan Grayson and Alexis Littlefoot. Moose and Zilla Fatu for the Fourth Rope Championship, which is a great looking belt.
Really? Okay.
Let me say, that is a proper belt. That is a proper belt for a new organization. Real one, Enzo versus Cha Cha Charlie, which the Cha Cha Charlie piece had me rolling, and we'll get to that. MVP, shouts out to MVP, who is the commissioner. Darren Rome Streets performed. DJ Premier and Pete Rock also performed as well. I did not stay for that. I live 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
So it's like after the wrestling, I've watched DJ Premier DJ personally when I went to the stat to go to the station in Dallas. So I ain't tripping on not seeing DJ Premier DJ. Because I've seen it up close personal. In fact, DJ Premier is the person who told me I don't look like Jadakiss. I'll always be a fan of DJ Premier.
Hey, you can always trust the real legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can trust somebody who's been in the studio with him on many occasions. You don't look like that, nigga. But man, overall great night for the culture. Matter of fact, I want to play this video of MVP opening up for Throat, Heels Have Eyes, Still Praying, because it's a question to that. We've talked about this before, but I want you to listen to MVP talk about wrestling and hip hop. Check this out, y'all.
This is a momentous occasion. It is my privilege to welcome you all here tonight to share this event with me. My name is Montel Vontavious Porter, but you all know me as
Okay.
If you are a fan of professional wrestling, let me hear you make some noise. If you're a fan of hip hop, let me hear you make some noise. If you are a fan of the culture, let me hear you make some noise. See, that's what I'm talking about. That fills my heart with joy. Because I know that every single one of you shares something very special in common with me. And that's a lifetime love affair with pro wrestling and hip hop. Yeah. Unfortunately, professional wrestling has never allowed a space in it for authentic hip hop. They've never welcomed hip hop in professional wrestling. Sure, they've had a little dose here and there, and they've had some cultural appropriators do a little something here and there. But this is the first time in my life, in my career, and yours, that authentic hip hop and professional wrestling are sharing the ring together.
We got somebody hating.
Yeah, somebody was, the people in front of me.
I am your commissioner.
There's a white guy too.
And on behalf
Like, shut up and listen to Limp
Rope,
Bizkit.
I'd like to welcome all of you to Heels Have Eyes 3.
Yeah, so like I said, capacity crowd. Everybody started filing in after they left the merch table. It was somebody in the background was like, he's talking about John Cena. And I was laughing my ass off. I was like, it's more than John Cena, ladies and gentlemen. Remember Slam Master Jay?
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we can PN News.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I fuck with PN News, but you know.
Yeah, you know, but
it's
still the same thing. Yeah, so
Scotty Too Hottie and Master Sexy. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
not sexy, but sexy. You know,
right? Yeah, let's make sure we really list the ones though.
Yeah, it's a lot of cultural appropriation. Matter of fact, John Cena might be the best version of the cultural appropriation that worked. But
oh yeah, best white rapper cosplayer ever.
Yeah, so, but as you heard MVP say, in his lifetime, in our life, this is the best representation of hip hop and wrestling. But let's dig deep a little bit here. My question to start off this show is: has wrestling ever got it right with hip hop?
You know what? This is a very important question, and I'm going to keep it real. As now, I tweak my view and stance on culture, and I'm going to say no. I think that as far as hip hop, no. Wrestling has completely dropped the ball from the corporate structures and all of that, or from the billionaires, like, because I don't care what is happening in AEW as well. I don't think they're nailing hip hop culture ever. Matter of fact, I want to ask about that crowd comparison from what you saw at Hills Have Eyes 3 versus AEW, or to anybody that can listen. Comment. I've never been to both, so I just want to know, is because everybody talks about AEW crowds. But back to question at hand, I say no, only because you don't necessarily have hip hop people at the helm, even your talent, who is probably inspired, grew up in, embraced in hip hop. They don't even get to do it at the clip that they probably would like to or feel that they should. I mean, and if anybody is wondering if they ever got it right, what do we hear all the time about backstage and the stories, and then Gorilla, and how this segment should sound, and the type of language, the type of dialect, like all of these things. The when they had the hip hop beats, whether it's on the game or for your wrestler that you feel is, has the hip hop edge, like, dude, does it move you in a culture sense? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had one representation of hip hop and wrestling getting it right for sure one time, I'll go Hall of Fame Mark Henry and his entrance. I'll go that one, because I think even MVP at his peak, as a competitor, full-time competitor, I think he's more hip hop now, more authentically hip hop now than he was with the velvet ropes and the ball and all of that, because that felt cosplayish. It felt like, hey, this is what you may know about hip hop, white wrestling fans, so let me give that to you. Versus, Mark Henry, 3-6 Mafia entrance, fits the character. It's no frills. He's not, trying to sell you the catchphrase. He's not trying to sell you culture. He's not trying to sell you the stereotypical or the status quo, because I don't want to call anybody a stereotype in regards to Mark Henry or anything like that.
Right.
But just the way that the presentation felt like, oh no, I saw Mark Henry at Walmart. He not a gang. You know what I'm saying? Or yo, nah, saw him at the block party. Saw him at Bud Billiken. Nah, he ain't one of them. Like, so that's what
Damn, I wonder if a wrestler ever been like, I wonder if a wrestler ever had a float at the Bud Billiken parade now. Like now there's certain things about wrestling and the culture, especially if you're from the crib, if you're from Chicago. I wonder if they ever had like a wrestler in one of the floats. If the WWE sent like all of their black wrestlers in a float at the Bud Billiken parade. So, before we get into last night, I wanted to have this conversation because it sheds light on last night. Mm-hmm. Like seeing some of the wrestlers come out to Westside Gunn tracks, that just felt different and it felt good. And to see the fan base, which was multicultural, but deeply involved in the music of Westside, Griselda, hip hop in general. Static Selector was there last night too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Static Selector was there last night. DJ Premier and Pete Rock,
that's
DJ Bodie James performed last night.
Oh shit,
as well. So like I wish I would have stayed.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna like, yo, how did he look? How did he feel? Because I know he had the really bad car accident and all.
Oh, from what I saw, he looked good. From the video I saw, he looked good. But see, it's that hip hop, and then it's commercial hip hop. Right. And when you look at those things, it's more about how you present it from a corporate standpoint. Mm-hmm. So if somebody would have asked me the only time that I really truly believe it was done right even though there's other hip hop moments. The only time that I think it was done right, that I actually felt it and it felt authentic, is when the New Day and the Usos was battling.
Oh, hey, yeah, okay.
To hear Wale hit us with the Don DeMarco, it didn't seem like they was hitting with the corny punchlines.
Yeah.
Some stuff with that concerned Xavier Woods got brought up in the battle too. Like, they just let it ride. That was really the one moment that I felt was truly authentic. Outside of that, it just, everything else felt corporate to me. And let me dig into that a little bit, right? If we want more authentic, let me say this right. If we want more authenticity when it comes to hip hop, you got to have hip hop in the building.
Yeah.
It's not going to be in the WWE's building.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. It's not going to be in AEW's building. Sorry. It's not going to be in a lot of these wrestling buildings unless you create your own.
Yeah.
That's what I saw last night. Even Joe Hendry felt hip hop, except he messed up his bar because he wanted to rap against AJ Francis, because AJ Francis in the promo video dissed Joe Hendry. And he said something. They thought they was getting Suge Knight, but they ended up getting Dr. Phil. And the crowd was like, and he was like, okay, let me go back and fix that. And then he said, Uncle Phil. He's like, hey, this is my first time rapping. My bad. I got the video for that too. I got to clip that up.
Hey, but look, not for nothing though. If you look at Dr. Phil and you look at how light-skinned AJ Francis is, he's not 100%. That's not necessarily a bad bar. Like, because look, hey, Uncle Phil was scary.
I mean, hey.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey.
Hey, look, I'm sorry. Hey, Joe Hendry. Hey, you might have had the bar.
You might have had it right.
Hey, if I was in the crowd, I would have went up for that.
Oh yeah, you would have laughed out. You would have laughed out loud. You would have laughed out loud. You would have laughed out loud. But nah, man, everything just felt comfortable. And the one thing that I will admit, sometimes at wrestling events, I ain't necessarily the most comfortable, because there's not a lot of people that look like us or even communicate like us, kick it like us.
I was gonna say that, man. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Are you good?
But yeah, it's I get what you're saying about comfort, because there is something different about when you're at the WWE event. And don't get me wrong, it feels family oriented, it feels corporate, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all, because that means a lot of money is in the building. But when you go to your section and even the conversations about, let's just say, like the bloodline, because everybody loves the bloodline. It don't matter what side of the fence you on. But it's like the actual culture behind the We the Ones and throw the ones up and things like that. Just even the way they present it, like they are very authentic to culture. And I mean that as far as like hip hop, and it's just like Black and Brown or other, because Pacific Islanders and all that ain't exactly either or when we talk Black and Brown from like the America definition. But there is a different feel to when somebody got the one up, because it's like, yeah, hey, yo, we outside, we throwing the ones up, versus, oh my God, the tribal chief is so cool, I'm gonna put my one up. Like there's just a difference in that. There's a different feeling that comes with that. There's a different connection with the audience, even amongst themselves, as well as with the crowd, when you have that. So I totally understand what you're saying.
So it's like, we can have the conversation, and MVP could say that, and MVP is totally right. But I just don't feel like wrestling and hip hop will ever get it right, because who gonna be in the building to tell them how to do it?
So I'm going to say something that may not sound progressive, but I do want to say it. I don't think specifically the WWE should even try anymore. To be honest, that company, the World Wrestling Federation, which now became World Wrestling Entertainment, which is now, under TKO Endeavor, they built their brand image and likeness on rock and wrestling. And not for nothing, I super F with it. And I super F with it more than I do the incorporation of rap and hip hop in wrestling when they do it. And, again, we saw Run DMC at WrestleMania. We saw Salt and Pepper at Pepper at a WrestleMania. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound so proper for y'all. I'm just working on my diction, okay? And we know Lil Kim did a song as an entrance and all that. And don't get me wrong, it's great looks. It's super cool. But man, their target demo, and Bang, the demo, you made it famous on the show.
Mm-hmm.
That just ain't the crowd that's going to completely even rock with it when it's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, one of they used Fort Minor, the song Remember the Name more than they probably should have over Lose Yourself by Eminem. Like when they were trying to tell the triumphant story of battling for it all. You know what I'm saying? Like even just that. Now, granted, I'm sure to use Eminem song it costs a lot more, and probably I wouldn't even doubt that the relationship the ICP has with wrestling maybe because of that. But saying all that to say, man, rap and wrestling from a corporate level, I don't think it's meant to be that way. And see, that is my deal when we talk culture. Bang, I am now at the age and at the mindset that anything that we're going to talk about in relation to culture and hip hop and rap and influence like that, black, I don't think there should be a corporate element to it. There should be money behind it. And there is money to be made without it being corporate. I mean, hey, that's the hustle of being a rapper, right? C Master P, CE40, C Too Short, Currency, Nipsey Hussle, like, shoot, hey, Dizza, a Gunn. Like, yo, this ain't what we do and what we represent. It ain't meant to be there.
That I am in total agreement with you. This is why I said there's nobody that's going to fit that ilk that's going to be in any level suite to even look and be able to say, oh no, y'all got it right here, or no, y'all need to fix it here. So if you're not gonna do it right, I don't want you to do it.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna do it right and authentic, I don't want you to put hip hop in shit and nothing, because I don't want you to water down it. I don't want you to make it look corny. Yeah. I don't want you to know. It needs to be in its purest form. I don't give a damn on what coast it is. I don't give a damn on what artist you bring in. If you're not going to do it right, just don't touch it. You know what the WWE and most wrestling do right? They do rock and wrestling right. I like even when I'm playing the video game, I'll give y'all a perfect example of hip hop, wrestling will never work. Video games. Y'all might be like, okay, Bang, what were you talking about here? Let me explain. Let me take the rock and go ISO real quick. Mm-hmm. Anytime you've played WWE 2K whatever, and you create a player and you go to the music, what song are you normally picking? A rock song. Why? Because they got about 4 hip hop songs on there and they're huff.
Yep, they all sound like.
And you can easily go to a producer and say, hey, produce these songs. We'll license it. Yeah. No. You will get your in-house production staff that give you some corporate extreme music ass hip hop tunes, not music, tunes to put behind your wrestler as they come out. I have not produced a track in 15 years, y'all. Yeah, Cap, it's been 15 years. Shut your ass up.
No, shut your ass up.
But I know I can produce. I could go grab the MP, I could go grab the machine, and I could produce a track that is better than all of the hip hop tracks that they've put in any WWE video game ever. Why? Because my shit's more authentic.
Mm-hmm. Hey, he's absolutely right, folks. That's why I can't stand this nigga. But hey, like, hey, he right. He right. He can come off the porch anytime he fucking want. He can. He's great.
So with that being said, when I'm playing the video game, I am normally getting some dastardly ass rock music that sounds very close to Judgment Day or Finn Balor or Damian Priest, and we rocking out. I don't want to pick no hip hop song on no goddamn in WWE 2K. What's crazy is the songs y'all pick for the game though is way better than anything. Give me the instrumental of that shit. But no, you decide to give us some weak ass song for hip hop, but then out of the 90 songs that y'all got there, 85 of them are rock songs. We have no choice. It's like, matter of fact, no, let me give you the breakdown.
And they slap though.
Yeah, there's the rock songs, there's the American hero songs, there's the international songs, and there are the rap songs. I'm normally picking the rock or the international songs before I pick anything hip hop. And then even when you hear the international songs, they have some shit that sounds like a really dangerous Samoan group that's coming out of the forest to fuck you up. WWE and their games don't even get it right. Now, personas, yeah, you could say that the Street Profits are hip hop. You could say that Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill is hip hop. You could say that Metaphor has hip hop elements to it. There's people that have hip hop elements, and then there's people that's really about the culture. And there's two things that I want to really stress here that MVP even said that I think people need to pay attention to. There's hip hop. So when some white people listen and shit, they're thinking of music. But then there's the culture, right? There's the culture. If you're not going to get the culture right, don't do it. Stick with your culture. If you're not going to give us the full elements of what it is, or don't overdo it.
Right.
If you're going to do all of those things, then don't do it. So I love what MVP said, because last night at Fourth Rope, I felt like I was at an event for me, by me, with me. I felt comfortable at that event. We was kicking it, having a good time, watching the matches. I was even explaining to some of the folks who some of the people were, because they didn't know it, because they ain't seen wrestling in years. Westside Gunn got a lot of people that I know that I connected with, that I know personally, that have not watched wrestling since 1993, my G. And he got them in one arena, and he got them back interested in the sport through culture. So if Westside Gunn didn't do anything last night, he did that shit. He got people in the hip hop culture reinvested in something that they grew up loving. And now that you do have at least more people that you can look at that is of the culture, that works. But at the same time, they will never get the full thing right, in my opinion, because there's not a lot of people you can talk to course correct.
Yeah. I mean, so because I love a lot of things you said. I'm gonna kind of like hop around and kind of like rewind just to go back forward, because you're right. Even from the games, the international music is better. Like when it comes to like the hip hop selections and the rap selections, like Jim Johnston understudy be wilding. Like, what are you doing? Like, why did you even pick this? But but then you do have like representation, because as you talk about the Street Profits and your Bianca Belairs and even the Bloodline, because hey, look, they got black wives, so everybody's kind of been on this. But as you were talking, and as I really think about this, I think about how Eminem kicked off the second verse of the real Slim Shady when he said, Will Smith don't got a cuss in his raps to sell records. Well, I do. So fuck him. Fuck you too. And even though Eminem is a white person from Detroit, Eminem is absolutely ingrained in what true hip hop culture is. And even his corporate version of it doesn't hit well. Ask Westside Gunn about that, respectfully. And that's the thing. I'm tired of hearing culture from corporations. I'm just tired of it. We're not going to get it. What you're gonna get Will Smith. You're gonna get Ja Rule. You're gonna get Nelly, and that's fine. There is a space, and there are some X Factor individuals that can truly be authentic and then be front facing on a larger scale. I don't want anybody to get our conversation confused with now Bianca Belair got to be at Hills at Eyes 4 or she ain't hip hop. No.
Right. Yeah,
No, that is not what I'm saying. If anything, we need Bianca Belair right where she is, because that is the gateway or the bridge, if you will, between her and Littlefoot. Because it's like, hey, if you're Black and you happen to love and grew up in hip hop and R&B music and Black culture, then hey, you also may like one of our shining stars doing it here in the WWE. There is like, I love the subculture of wrestling that's being developed, because Westside Gunn and everybody else and Smoke Dizza and these guys, they are really treating it like the underground. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important. Just like you say often on the show, Bang, watch more than WWE. Y'all got to watch more wrestling. You got to see this. I am now, even though it may not have the cachet or the actual cash as far as brand recognition and all of that, but I look at what Westside Gunn is doing like I do a New Japan, an AEW, an ECW, because there is a demographic that does exist for this to thrive. It doesn't have to be at the WWE's level. There is nothing about anything that they're doing that says, oh, I can't wait for TKO Endeavor to buy this so it can look like that. That's the one thing I personally don't want to see happen, no matter how much success is received. So we do have that separation of culture versus corporate.
So long story short, man, I think what MVP said was on point. I think it was perfect for the night. And for any wrestling event that I went to, this was very authentic to the culture and to the people that was putting it on too,
Nice.
Which is a very underrated part of this. That Westside Gunn, Smoke Dizza, Covert Operations, everybody who had a hand in last night, shouts out to my girl Bree, everybody who had a hand in creating Fourth Road last night at the UIC Forum, y'all did an amazing job for the culture. I don't expect that nowhere else. I don't expect that in WWE. I don't expect that in AEW. I don't expect that in TNA. I don't care how many times AJ Francis raps. I don't care how many times AEW brings a B or C level rapper that we do love to the event just to say that they were there and all of that stuff. I don't give a damn who is the song for whatever event. The only time that I've ever seen wrestling, get the culture right, was Fourth Rope. And I'm not just saying that to say it, because it was basically the best relaxed feeling that I've ever had watching a wrestling event. So shouts out to Gunn, Dizza, and the team for a great night. I hope to see that again very, very soon, because also Chicago proved that they are a wrestling town, and we will support wrestling, good wrestling, fun wrestling if it's there.
Yeah. Hey, I'm at the next one for sure. I don't care if I got to buy a ticket and take a day off. I'm there. I'm there at the next one because I want to see that. I want to experience that, because even as I went to NWA, you like you said, you just kind of feel out of place, even though you're there and you're in it because you're a wrestling fan. But there is something different. There's something different about being around the people that you can tell are just like in your zone, your frequency.
Yeah. So to recap you on the night, though, just a couple of things. So first of all, MVP is the commissioner for Fourth Rope. We saw the video a little bit earlier. Moose and Zilla Fatu wrestled for the Fourth Rope title. Amazing title again, by the way. Whoever made that title, y'all made an amazing title. But Zilla Fatu won that match with the help of Mike Santana, who, look, this is how I know wrestling. This is how I know I've watched too much wrestling. So Mike Santana was standing where it was like me, Vic Spencer, shouts out to him and a couple of other folks. We were sitting there talking. And Mike Santana was like, yo, I'm trying to watch the joint. Can y'all like move over to the right? Mm-hmm. I said, oh, he about to do a run in. I said, he about to do a run in. Because then I noticed that whole lane was clear. I said, buddy, that's about to do a run in. Moose is going to try to hit dude with the belt. He going to try to do a run in. He going to try to hit him with the belt. Mike Santana's going to keep him from hitting him with the belt. And then Zilla's going to win. That's exactly what happened, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as I saw, I was like, oh, this is what's going to happen. But Zilla Fatu is now the Fourth Rope champion. Again, great belt. And it's something that I noticed, and I think I got it on film. I'm not for sure. So Zilla Fatu threw up the one and then did the thumb down in the slit throat joint. I was like, okay, I feel you. Like, nigga, I'm my own person. I'm the main one. Zilla Fatu. I'm the main one. Hey, but I will say this. Hey, man, interesting future. I would love, I've said on this show, I don't need to see no more Samoans in the WWE. We got enough.
Right.
Stop bringing them in just because there's a storyline. I'm interested in Lil Umaga, fam. I want to see how this goes. I think he has a bright future out here in the WWE. Very much looking forward to what happens with him in the future. Jocelyn Navarro and Masa Slemovich versus Alexis Littlefoot and Jordan Grace. Shouts out to Jordan Grace too. I was aware, but now I'm even more aware. But that was
But now you hip.
Yeah, I was aware, but now I'm hip. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I didn't know how fun size the Jordan Grace was, man. See, Jordan Grace is a wrestler who look bigger than they appear. I thought Jordan Grace was like 5'8", 5'9". Nah. I saw her pop around that corner. I said, man, I know I'm fat. And I know I'm 5'11" and 3/4. I swallowed her. I make her look small. I was like, wow. Wow. I thought she was bigger than that. But good match between all of those ladies. Masha Slamovich and Jocelyn Navarro won that match too. AJ Francis versus Joe Hendry. Talked about the freestyle that Joe Hendry tried to do. But he did defeat AJ Francis in this match. The second match of the night, real one, Enzo versus Cha Cha Charlie. First of all, let me just say this, right? This is how I know Chicago niggas don't watch wrestling a lot. When that nigga Enzo started talking about Chicago and the Hail Mary and shit, I heard a couple of niggas like, hey man, hold the fuck on, fam. Who the fuck is this? I was like, hey y'all, he's just talking. This is a promo. He's trying to get y'all engaged. Okay, all right, shit, because that nigga going too far, man. I'm just saying. And he don't even think he went too far. Just like, but shouts out to him for getting the crowd hyped and stuff. But Cha Charlie won that match. Also, shouts out to my man A Villa. This is also the first time that I've ever been in an event and saw what some might consider cultural appropriation, even though Cha Charlie is Hispanic. But my nigga A Villa was like, hey man, so buddy ass name Cha Charlie. He got on a Mexican sombrero, but he said he from the Dominican Republic. I don't know if I should be offended or not. I said, I ain't gonna front, fam. When I saw him pull up, I thought about you because I knew you was here.
Like, all fair.
I was like, man, hey, if anything in wrestling is gonna rule the day, we always go get some stereotyping and cultural appropriation. We're always gonna get that. Matter of fact, let me put you on the game of a conversation that I had with the family yesterday, right? So we was talking about horror films and shit, and my wife is still confused on why I like horror films. It's like, cause I like thrilling shit. I like shit that make me jump up. Man, I'm sorry, all you like is Korean dramas and shit about love. Korean
dramas.
Yeah, she be in the crib watching Korean dramas and shit, like subtitles and shit. I'd be like, man, what the fuck is going on, fam? And it all just be about love. They do the little long ass like slides and shit to show like a motherfucker kissing and shit. I'm like, yo, y'all wow. But then I had said to her, like, look, do you really want to know the reason why I like horror movies? And it's kind of the reason why I somewhat like wrestling. But the reason why I like horror movies is because I get to see shit and not be that much emotionally invested. She said, I don't get that. Said, very rarely you're going to see black people in horror movies. So if I see a black person in a horror movie, I'm kind of emotionally invested. When I see a white person in a scary movie, I'm not necessarily emotionally invested. Like, why your dumb ass going over there to chop it up with the little kid that's sitting by himself at the goddamn picnic table? Nigga, you're gonna die. Like, why? We're not going over there to bother. Like, just think about it like this, Kemp. Let's say, for instance, you was driving down the road and there was a picnic table that was there. And the picnic table was a white kid just minding his business. His back is turned to you and everything. And you slowly stop the car because you're like, yo, this kid is alone. There's nobody around him. And I wonder if he's okay. And let me get out the car and go make sure and see if he's okay. We're not going to do that shit. We're going to keep driving. But in a horror movie, the white person is going to walk over to the kid and tap the kid on the shoulder and say, hey, how you doing, little buddy? You're sitting here by yourself. Are your parents around? And that nigga slowly turns around and look at you. That means you're going to die, all right? Yeah. In every horror movie, that shows you that you're about to die. That don't happen with black folks, so I ain't emotionally invested. Be like, no. I get to talk shit at horror movies. Horror movies are funny to me. They are comedies with blood in it. Now, are there some horror movies where it's like, okay, y'all doing enough to make me scared? Yeah. I think that the best horror movie of all time is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I will never watch that movie again. I watched that motherfucker once. I was like 7. I said, never again. This nigga scary. Nightmare on Elm Street 1, the first one, still makes me jump to this day, even though I like to watch it, because that motherfucker was scary then. He wasn't making jokes and talking shit and all of that stuff. Yeah. To me, those are the two most scariest horror movies of all time. But a horror movie that I do put at the top of my list as well is Children of the Corn. Why? Because of white kids. White people, black people talk about stereotypes all day long about how we look in these movies, right? White people have yet to get mad about how they're culturally appropriated and stereotyped in horror movies. Because if I see a white kid, if I open up my garage right now and there was a white kid that was sitting right in the middle when that motherfucker raised, that means you're dead. In every horror movie I've seen, that means you're dead. It's always a white male that feels pissed off enough to not die and kill you. Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, others. Super white dudes that's just so pissed off at their white friends and family that they just said, hey, fuck it. I'm never going to die. I know what you did last summer. A white dude got hit. He said, fuck this. These kids need to be killed. I'm going to do it. It's very rarely you're going to see a movie where a black person is just going to something happens to them and they're like, okay, let's kill these kids. For the exception of Candyman. What happened to Candyman, though? What's the backstory? He was messing around with a white woman, and the white people got mad, and he said, hey, I'm going after y'all.
Mm-hmm. Hey, mind your business.
That's it. So that's why I like that shit. How does that equate to wrestling? I like looking at wrestling. I like the pomp and the circumstances, but I pop when I see people that is for us, by us, look like us. Because then I am more engaged in that product. And that's why Fourth Rope last night, put that bitch on the bow. That's why Fourth Rope to me was important. Let's talk about Saudi Mania 7.
Oh, no, 6.
Or 6.
Yeah, because the other Saudi event wasn't the Crown Jewel.
Oh yeah, you're right.
This is the 6th Crown Jewel. So Saudi Mania 6.
There you go. So Saudi Mania 6 was last night. Well, in the afternoon, but last night in Saudi Arabia. And I almost forgot it was that early. Let me first say that, because I turned Peacock on and it was the bloodline was just starting. Like they was just coming to the ring. The new bloodline was already there. The OG bloodline was coming in. They played Roman Reigns' music and 2 people came out. I said, oh shit.
Yeah.
They giving Jay his own, well, his music is going to play his own entrance. Jay Uso coming out by himself amongst the crowd. Question. If you're going to do that over Roman Reigns, why you just didn't get his nigga the world championship over there on Raw?
Lot of things didn't make sense about that, but you know what? I'll digress and say great moment for Jay. I think we needed that moment for him. You can't have that moment with Roman Reigns music. So I do, presentation wise, aesthetic wise, I get it. But hey, bring him out first then.
Man, look, it is what it is on that. I was a little confused on like, I bet. Why are we not doing anything with this man when reportedly, allegedly, this man has sold more merch than a couple of the major guys combined. So yeet that man to a world title, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, they lost. Right? The OG bloodline lost to the new bloodline. Roman Reigns was pinned by Solo. Wow. Which made it interesting. As we predicted, Sami Zayn came out there and made things a bit interesting. He suplexed Solo. He fought off the other dudes of the bloodline until the OG bloodline got up. And then a mishap happened when Roman Reigns was going to try to spear Solo. Sami Zayn was going to try to give him the haluva kick, but Roman Reigns got kicked. With that being said, we already said we'd see where this is going. The OG bloodline is fractured because they don't trust each other. Jimmy is like, yo, he kicked Cuz. See, this is why we don't fuck with him. Jay like, yo, it's a mistake, man. Get the fuck out of here. Jimmy's like, that's your man's. That's your man's. Jay like, that's your man's. That's your man's. We already know they gonna make up and everything, and the pop for War Games is gonna be huge. I think the biggest question is, will Sammy make the decision at Survivor Series, or will they hug it out and then be like, all right, let's see how they drag this out. But how did you mess with OG versus new bloodline match?
It wasn't great to me. I'm sorry, but I have to say it. As I'm watching the match, I was like, yo, this is like South Central, and Roman Reigns is like OG Bobby Johnson. It's like, yeah, hey, no, hey, when you was the man, potato in the barrel, all of that. But now you left. We had to fend for ourselves. This is what it is now. Now I run shit. Now your little man's work for me. You know what I'm saying? And it's and that's the vibe. I think that the story being told should take some more time. So I'm gonna be the first to say I don't want the Bloodline Civil War as a war games. I want the match that we definitely do have to get again, because but nothing distract you from the fact that the storyline is Sami Zayn is actually happy that everybody defected from Roman Reigns. Like everybody. That is why the element of Solo did make sense to me. Because at first he was like, yo, all of y'all great. Solo, Jimmy, Jay, y'all can do without Roman. And he got his wish. So when he ever going for a haluva kick in the middle of the ring, that's a corner move. All right. Like, so to me, the only Survivor Series match that needs to happen is Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. The only other match is Roman versus Solo. That is it. This storyline has the potential to do a lot of more harm than good if they put all of these guys together by Thanksgiving. And I'm not trying to see that. The match though, hey, look, the Samoan Spike seemingly works like no other in Saudi Arabia. Just want y'all to be aware of that. Like, and the WWE needs to do a better job of protecting finishers. I'll bring that up again later in the show. But yeah, I think even though big win for Solo, first big win he's had in a minute, I don't think it did what it was supposed to do for me, which was one, elevate Solo and the new bloodline. I think all it really did was say, hey, the four guys that were running this shit the last 2.5, 4 years, we still want to see them. So let's just see where that goes.
Yeah, it felt like a house show to me. And even the whole thing with Sami Zayn felt a bit off. Mm-hmm. It felt like it didn't go as planned. As far as matches go, nah, man, I think the match is Jay versus Roman again. I think that needs to. I don't think that's been fixed.
Well, that too. I mean, because again, the we equals now. Watching the promo again, I'm like, no. And it's the thing. It's like, this whole. Here's my bloodline take. I just thought about this. I meant to save this for the show. I wanted to start here. The match also is like Roman Reigns realizing that I know I was a little OD, but I do need to be in charge, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because Jey Uso looked like the employee of the month that just got promoted to key holder, but now he's trying to write people up. Hold on, fam. Hey, yo. We gave you the key. You can open and close now. But we still do personnel, bro.
Like, we still got that.
Yeah. Let me decide when the write-ups go out, bro. Like, this ain't like
doing a little bit too much in that Playboy.
Yeah. Close the store for me. I'm off at 6. Close the store for me. And we'll get back together tomorrow at the meeting. And that's what Jey Uso, that's how he came off last night, like not wanting to tag and all the long ass promo about, yo, we equals, ain't nobody over me. It's like, but this ship works. Like this thing, it works when I'm leading it. Like, I was OD. You got me. I'm OD. But dog, we can't just get out here and just like do whatever. And I think that's a valuable lesson to learn Even for you young fans out there that are watching wrestling, like, no, you can't just go out here and just say and do anything. There needs to be somebody spearheading the movement. And and last night, in a win or a loss, it didn't look like that was going to be Jey Uso at all. I mean, hey, not for nothing, I like the aspect of the development of Jey Uso feeling like he don't need nobody, so I'm just gonna go out here just on my own thing, and I'll just be successful because at least I'm in control of me. Like, I'm not mad at that, but all them together being separate but equal, nah, screw all that.
Yeah, see, that's the thing for me. This whole we equals, no, you're not. First of all, Jimmy came out there with his cousin. So he already letting you know where he stand at.
Right.
And yeah, this don't work if Roman is not in the front and you a little bit behind, G. You ain't got to be all the way behind. You can be a little bit behind, like, you know how you have the first, second, and third. Like, you get that second, that little inch or two, yeah, but on the left-hand side. But no, other than that, no. It does not work. You want to know why it does not work, Jay, in the WWE? Because outside of that one pin in that tag match, Jay has not beat Roman Reigns. Now, if you were to say, yo, we got to fight this out and Jay wins, then it makes it feel better. Even that'll still be off. But no, we got to go ahead and get them to a match to settle this. At the point that I don't kind of care about Rock versus Roman. Them two niggas need to fight.
Yeah.
Roman, Jay, fight it out. Like, you want to know what I was hoping for last night?
Yeah.
I was hoping for the Bloodline to be fighting and Rikishi come out and just slam some shit on the ground and everybody stop. And then that's how we get War Games. Let's fight this out and get this over with because we're not together.
Yeah,
I would have rather the OG be like, nah, boom. This is what it is. But it is what it is at this point. It just didn't feel anything more than a house show to me. It makes me, I guess, in a weird way, it makes me excited for War Games, though. Because that means y'all saving things in the tuck for that night right there to be spectacular. If War Games is not Dave Meltzer 5-star or first black champ, that shit was lit, then I think all of this was for nothing. But nobody really feels it. I don't feel anything right now.
Yeah.
For the Bloodline, I guess is the best way of saying it. And I don't feel anything until Jay and Roman fight. Because clearly something's going to have to happen for Jay to either confirm that he's an equal or show that you're just the right-hand man, my G.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to be. And the reason why I believe that is it would have sounded a lot better if what I said should have happened when he went to Raw happens, is that he would have been the new world heavyweight champion. Prove that you main event Jey Uso. But he had a hard time getting the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you supposed to be equal to a man who had a belt over 500 days, let alone over 1,300? We can skip through some of this shit because a lot of this shit felt like a house show. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill did defeat Lash Legend and Miss Jakar Jackson, Io Sky and Kairi Sane, Chelsea Green and Piper Nevin. We both picked Piper and Chelsea, and they were the last people that had a chance. So I mean, maybe
Chelsea Green. I don't know what y'all waiting on. Don't know what y'all waiting on.
Hey, one thing I will say is that the tag team title picture is probably more lit than the solo title pictures. That's what I will say. As we said, we did not want to happen. Seth Rollins defeated Bronson Reed. It took a lot of stumps.
Yeah.
It took a lot of stumps. And I like the color. I like when Bronson Reed got up and you saw the look cut over his eyes. I said, okay, I know they didn't mean for this to happen, but I like the color here. I even like Seth Rollins saying, basically, man, motherfucker, you crazy under his belt. Are you fucking crazy? Under his breath. But Seth Rollins defeated Bronson Reed, and I mean, hey, I don't know what that does for Bronson, even though he got up and was looking menacing. Liv Morgan defeated Nia Jax and is the Crown Jewel champion. A lot went on in that match. Tiffy, it was almost Tiffy time. When it came to that, and Nia Jax was like, man, I told you not now, which was very interesting. But Raquel Gonzalez and Dominic Mysterio helped Liv Morgan become the Crown Jewel champion, so she got to hold on to the belt for about an hour before they put that shit up, which we'll get into in a second. Randall Keith Orton versus Kevin Owens ended in a no contest because Kevin Owens beat the shit out of Randy Orton. Did not expect for it to go down like that, but I'm excited for Kevin Owens and and Cody Rhodes to the point where I would not be shocked or surprised if they made this a triple threat match. But I do believe that Kevin Owens needs to win the undisputed championship over Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes could just get his Rocky Balboa on, since that's what he wants to be in the first place, and get that joint back. LA Knight versus versus Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, and that went like we expected it, even though what we wanted didn't happen. LA Knight is the winner.
Dangerous spot to very come to Jesus moment for LA Knight during that match too. Hey. Almost nigga threw his chucks on the power lines.
Yeah, be careful out there, Jack.
For sure.
And then the last match of the evening, Gunther versus Cody Rhodes. Hey, let me ask you something. We've been watching wrestling for over 30 years.
For sure.
We've seen matches mimic other matches and all of that stuff. Do you get tired of seeing like parts of matches or finishes mimicking other finishes in the past?
Depending on the opponents, yes.
Well, in this match, it mimicked the final moments of Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 8. I believe it was, where Roddy Piper put Bret Hart in the sleeper. Bret Hart reversed it, put it in the pin, and Roddy Piper lost the Intercontinental Championship. Bret Hart won. Bret Hart was bleeding. Bret Hart shook that man's hand, and he celebrated. In this match, I guess it still shows Gunther as somebody that's formidable and does not bury him, so I'm cool with it. But I am kind of tired of seeing that shit, especially when it comes to Bret Hart. Like, damn, how many Bret Hart matches we gonna mimic? We already got CM Punk trying to do that as many times as possible. Like, if I want to go watch Bret Hart matches, I'll just turn it on Peacock. Yeah,
we'll see. That's two of the problems I have, right? Because Cody got one to do Dusty finishes, and respect to the legend, because I don't mean it this way, but in my world, Gunther should never be losing like Roddy Piper. I don't want to see that. Like it just shouldn't happen. Like if those two were supposed to pick a Bret finish, and let it be Bret versus Bulldog, SummerSlam. You pick that one, not this one. Because I don't know. It's almost like they have Gunther playing the role of I'm dominant, but every once in a while I get a little too overzealous, and I truly beat myself. Like, y'all don't really beat me,
right?
Beat myself. Pause. And I'm kind of over that. Because when the Intercontinental title run was happening, this wasn't even something that was on anybody's bingo card for him to be losing so many matches in a year, and then two, for him to be losing them essentially when he's really at like the pinnacle of what his character is doing, what he's doing. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know what it is with all the Brett finishes lately. It's our Triple H and Shawn Michaels beefing. Like I don't know. I don't get this.
Yeah,
but, hey.
Yeah, I think I'm good on all of the Bret Hart finishes, fam. Like next thing you know, we're gonna see a new version of Bret Hart versus Virgil or some shit. Like I don't want to see no Bret Hart versus Isaac Yankem DDS matches mimicked into a 2024, 2025 finish. Now the winners don't take the belts home. So Cody Rhodes and Liv Morgan, they don't take the belts home. Now apparently those belts are worth $9.5 million. So yeah, you don't want to be wearing those belts to like matches and shit. Yeah. So that's part of the reason why those belts is going straight to the WWE experience, but them niggas get mood rings. Cause that's what them, even though they say it's like a whole bunch of diamonds in them shits, I was like, yo, is that a mood ring she got on? So essentially this is Battle Bowl. Yeah. When you think about it, this is WCW Battle Bowl. But two questions that I have for you. The first question is, could they found a better way to celebrate this outside of a ring? And the second question that I have is, why the fuck it ain't no goddamn WWE experience in America? Like, why is this shit in Saudi Arabia? It seems like they got a boatload of artifacts and moments and features and things, but you mean to tell me I got to go to Saudi Arabia to experience this? Why Saudi Arabia get the shit first? Triple H or Emmanuel?
We don't appreciate shit and we steal. I mean, hey, look. I don't know if y'all know this, but I've been on quite the campaign as an American this year, and like, yo, we picking it up now though. I feel like one of our messages got casted earlier this year because your U.S. crowds is picking it up. But, historically, y'all wasn't appreciating shit. Y'all was stealing. You know what I mean? Like that's why we can't have the $9.5 million belt given away in the U.S. because it's probably going to end up at a pawn shop or a dope house because y'all be stealing. So. Okay. WWE experience. Oh man, ooh, the Kane mask. Let me try to put it on. No, bro, look at it. Just look at it. Oh, ain't that the Kamala shield? Yeah, and the spear too. Oh, bro, put the shit down. No, you're not here to post with it. Read about it. Educate yourself on wrestling before your time. It's not the time for your hardcore match.
Hey, you're hilarious. Let me just say this. You're fucking hilarious because we steal, nigga. That shit's hilarious because all I'm thinking is some kid trying to run off. All right, so man.
Run off with the shit.
Oh, man.
And the government, you know what I'm saying? The government is a little different over there. Hey, look, you might lose a foot trying to hop on that Steve Austin four-wheeler over there.
Yeah. Well, look, man, a couple other things before we get out of here. It was announced at Crown Jewel that there would be a fatal four-way match to determine the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm guessing this is going to be the opponent for Gunther at Survivor Series. Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, and Dominic Mysterio will be in this fatal four-way. Who do you think will win and become the number one contender? And who do you think, well, in your opinion, should win? And who do you think will win this match to determine the number one contender?
So the person that should win, because I'm always up for the new, I'm going to say Dominic Mysterio. Because I think there's still another turn coming for him. The person that's gonna win, undoubtedly is Damian Priest. I think it's a good callback. I think it's another heat check, because even though Gunther is the champion, I'll be honest with you, Bang, I didn't think that his run would look like this. And it's not that it's a bad run. It's just that it don't feel like it's out the gate yet. Like it don't really feel like whatever the vision is for him as the world champ, I don't think it's actually taken place yet. So with that, I think that fair one, that true fair one, no Judgment Day side story in it between Damian and Gunther. I think that's the restart. That's the restart button. And now let me show you what I'm about to do with this belt.
Okay. I believe that Dominic Mysterio not only should win it, I believe he's gonna win it. There's so much regarding Judgment Day. Especially now that Rhea Ripley is going to be out indefinitely. After she took a beating by Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez at NXT. You know, that NXT parking lot. Somebody's guaranteed to get their ass beat up, not fucked up or fucked. My bad. But you never know what might happen. You never know what might happen. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you don't know. But somebody's guaranteed to get fucked up in that parking lot. And that's what happened. So it's like Damian Priest is by himself. And now that Finn Balor says, no, it ain't no leader. We all in this together. And if Damian Priest is in the match, he ain't winning it, because they gonna make sure he don't get it. But then I'm also thinking about Seth Rollins. Like, okay, I don't think that's over between him and Dude. So I'm looking at Sheamus and I'm like, all right, your ass ain't really did shit since your ass got back. You lost weight, you got your abs back, but that's about it. Yeah. Which leads me to the number one heel in the company, Dominic Mysterio. Wouldn't it be hilarious that Dominic Mysterio with Liv Morgan, Raquel Gonzalez, Finn Balor, Big Head, and Carlito, they all are needed to end the title reign of Gunther and Dominic Mysterio becoming the world heavyweight champions. Like, that's something that is not out the realm of possibility because of the numbers.
Yeah, no, it's true. See, my thing with the numbers, though, this no leader stuff, man. Imagine if Martin Luther King Jr. talked like that. Like, just imagine that. Like, it ain't no leader, but hey, but just meet me at Washington, though. Like, meet me over there. Like, bro, why? If I can do what I want to, like, why? So for me,
I gotta go talk to you.
Yeah. It's like, I might, maybe I'll show up at 3. Oh, you said you be at 11? I'll be there at 3 o'clock. Like, come on, bro, you gonna miss my speech? Well, you're not the leader, bro. So, like, that's what that sounds like to me. So to me, I like what you're saying, but hey, look, not for nothing, Dominic appears to have his hoes in check. So Liv and Raquel, I think they're the real they're the real trio. They're the real group. He's obviously in control. And hey, and much like life in America, a lot of white women get success when they adopt Latin culture and friends, and they try to switch their life up some. So I don't see a world where the entire Judgment Day is helping because it ain't no leader, but I definitely do see a world where you can make it make sense of how Gunther got taken down by Dominic and his 2 chicks, and now he got to figure it out. The only reason why I still think it's Damian Priest is because I don't know how to extend that story and make it make sense for Gunther to get his title back, because Kaiser can't just start beating up the chicks. And that's how he get the belt back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Hey man, I feel you. Which is going to be interesting. Also, word on the street is that there will be a battle royal, a women's battle royal, to determine who should be the number one contender for Liv Morgan's World Championship. I don't know which woman on Raw should have the opportunity. I really can't think of one that just sits at the top of my head to say, okay, this is who Liv Morgan should be going against.
I mean, who didn't get released? It should be easier. The answer should be even easier now. Y'all let people go. Like, just throw somebody out there. Like, she ain't had a real match.
Like, it's not gonna be Becky Lynch. She chilling.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Io Sky or Kairi Sane getting back into the swing of things of being a singles competitor. We haven't seen Liv Akira in a while.
Yeah.
I'm going through the roster.
Shayna Baszler now?
Yeah, Shayna Baszler and them ain't really did shit. Rhea Ripley is out. All right, man. I'm just gonna fuck around and say, hey, man, the woman, if the battle royal happens tomorrow, the woman that is going to face Liv Morgan for the Raw Women's Championship is going to be Maxine Dupree.
Hey, not for nothing. Where the skills are, that actually makes a lot of sense. It actually does. Because they ain't really gave, like, they give her matches, but it's with girls can beat her up, like Homegirl from American Made. And like they throw her out there to the wolves.
Yeah.
But Maxine should be facing Chelsea Green. She should be facing Liv Morgan. She should be facing, like, well, I was gonna say Indy Hartwell, but they let her go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she should be like in that tier of women. So for me, wait, what show is Chelsea Green? Is she on SmackDown? Is she on Raw?
She's on SmackDown.
Okay, that's right. Okay, that's right. So yeah, I mean, see, and that's the no-brainer for me. I think Chelsea Green. Matter of fact, my guarantee for this week, because I just feel like saying this one, I feel like Chelsea Green should show up to Raw at the Battle Royal and throw over whoever winning. And be like, hey, look, she over the top rope, though. Like, I threw both of them out, so technically I won it. And it should be Liv versus Chelsea Green because, hey, look, the character is over. Chelsea Green's a face. Liv versus Chelsea Green makes a lot of sense. Have her go over on Liv for the title because Piper and Raquel, that's more even than we want to say.
Yeah.
I like it. It don't matter no way because second bonus guarantee, Tiffany Stratton cashing in on whoever win that match, no matter what.
My guarantee is Tiffany Stratton is going to go over on Nia Jax. Hey, man, Nia Jax bitching her too much about some shit that she earned.
Rax.
Hey, Tiffany earned this shit. Why she got to follow your direction, nigga? I can go over on any one of y'all motherfuckers. I think Tiffany Stratton is not only going to go over, but she's going to cement herself as a top 2 baby face on the women's side of the company. Because the way that crowd popped for her and was basically telling her it's your time for her to go back and think about it. Yeah, when she go over, the only way she's going to make the crowd hate her if she call them some bitches.
And even then they're like, yes.
Yeah,
it's our time. We're going to be your bitches, Tiff.
Yeah, we are bitches. So that's what's going to happen. All right, man, quick hits before we get out of here. Continues with reports suggest that John Cena will face a champion at WrestleMania, challenging Ric Flair's record, which we've been saying this for quite some time. Who do you think, or which belt should John Cena go after to break the streak? Should it be the Undisputed Championship or should it be the World Championship?
Oh no, the WWE Championship. That's the that's the Vince McMahon title. That's the title that he's actually won. I mean, I think he's won the world title before, but no, it's the WWE. And no matter how you slice it, I'm still from the Vince McMahon era. The WWE Championship is the one. That is the one that John Cena should be going to. Now, granted, there's other stats to be achieved if he, and it helps the other title if John Cena holds it, even in his twilight, even in retirement. But no, it should be the WWE title for sure.
I think Orton versus John Cena is something to consider.
For sure.
I think it's something to consider because we never got it at a WrestleMania. And last, and definitely not least, or maybe it is, Goldberg has confirmed that he will have a retirement match sometime in 2025. Who should Goldberg's last opponent be? And should Gunther just send him to hell at the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. First of all, thank God. Shout out to Bret the Hitman Hart. You dig? Bill Goldberg versus Gunther. I mean, hey, look, not for nothing. And this is why you build up a Bronson Reed and you actually have him win some matches, because I would love to see Goldberg take about 8 tsunamis and get him right on out of there. And that be the end of it. But because the thing is, and I mean, I'm no prisoner of the moment, or I'm not downplaying the moment, but nothing about Goldberg says that he's going to have an actual great match with Gunther or a Cody Rhodes or a Seth Rollins. And these are some of the best to ever do it, especially for this era and possibly all time too, depending on how long you've been watching wrestling. So see, a retirement match for Goldberg really we watched 2 years of squash matches between him, Brock Lesnar, Kevin Owens, and Drew McIntyre. I can't say that I'm excited for this at all. I don't expect him at 50 plus to give me something that he couldn't or could have gave us in his 30s. It just, I don't know, man. I put him in the dirt. Put his dick in the dirt. Get him the fuck out of here. Thank you, Gunther.
Well, this is going to be very, very interesting these next couple of weeks, because now you can say that in a sense we are almost on the road to, well, I don't know. What role are we heading to next? We don't really give goddamn the Survivor Series a lot of love there. Yeah. And then when you look at goddamn what's that Saturday Night's main event is coming, and then we got Royal Rumble in February now.
Yeah, man. That's gonna be a little weird.
That's a little weird. February.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that, but I
don't know either. But yeah, we just people who like wrestling. Yeah. But man, hey, we'd like to thank y'all for joining us today. Shouts out to Artie, who said that he ain't got to work this morning, so he finally got a chance to catch us live. Shouts out to everybody up in the chat. B Dot, that's very disrespectful to say that I have beats for sale on SoundClick. Nah, nigga.
Yeah, he ain't post shit. B Dots, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
And fuck both of y'all, okay? All right?
hey, fuck you and do-rag Vince, okay? How about that? Shout out to Shannon for tuning
in. Yeah. Well, man, I mean, I guess you're right, Cam, but I'm just saying I ain't make SoundClick beats.
No, you didn't make them, but they ain't available. So
fuck you, man.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, but shout out to y'all for being available, man.
Y'all shaming me, all right? Y'all are shaming me.
Hey, you know those memes when they be telling people like, don't be around your friends that go push you to be better. He don't give a shit.
Oh man,
He don't care at all.
there you go. You
You
know,
know what I mean?
look, you know what? Hey, shouts out to our fearless leader, Scott. Scott has said on many times we have to bring back shame. I guess
Yeah.
this is bringing back shame because
You know what I'm
Camp
saying?
won't let me be great.
Oh, hey, see, look how that spun. Push him to do something I know he's great at. But he said, but I don't want him to be great. You know what I'm saying? You see how that go? You see how black people know. See how niggers are?
Damn.
You see? Do you see it?
Hey man, this is off.
Hey, that's why the polls is the way they are. Man, but we appreciate y'all though. Hey, thank you for tuning in, checking out the show today, man. We've had fun. Daylight savings time. Hopefully, no matter what hour that you arrived, that you enjoyed what you heard. Hey, all of you contributing to the FBC community, likes, comments, shares, live thread, show threads, PLE threads. Man, it's greatly appreciated, along with your reactions and your questions. Bang and I obviously would enjoy doing the show just solo, just us two, just shooting shit about wrestling. But all of you and your contributions to the FBC community make it what it is, and that we sincerely and humbly thank you. And just know, man, if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast. Pick with the VP DOC, who needs to make a beat, but we are out. Fuck Johnny Wrestling.
Hey, Johnny Wrestling, I understand, fam. I totally understand right now.